Please join me in giving a hearty round of applause as we welcome Mr. Nitin Aravind, addressing on transforming businesses, e-commerce and investor. Sir, may I now invite you to address the gathering and share your thoughts on the various opportunities, creative avenues, and challenges within the field of e-commerce and digital business, and how is it shaping our world's future?
Stay the side. Okay. Come on. All right, let's do the tests. Can you hear me? The mic's not on, I believe. Is it on? It's not. I know. If it's not on, then why should I be wearing this? Now?
Yeah.
Yeah, now we're good. But do you need this? Can you actually hear me? Let's do this lower up here. Is that good? Better than, hi. Which one? This one is better. All right, let's get this. So I am an ex-student of one of the schools here. So this is something that we never had before, but yeah, it is something that I understand that all of you would look up to me like somebody who can tell you things. So let's start with an icebreaker. Just remember these, yeah? There are mistakes in there. They're just mistakes in there. Just remember there are mistakes in there. And I'll ask you this later. So my sessions are never going to be all theory up there and you guys at the end of the day sleep through my sessions. I'm going to break the sessions and ask you things. So be involved, yeah? All right, let's go. So am I pressing the wrong button? I am. This one?
No.
All right. Yeah. I'll wait. We started anyway 40 minutes late. 5 minutes not going to give. All right. Let's go. So when we started, we always said IT is the future. When I was in 11th and 12th, IT was the future. IT is the future. It needs to be everything that we are thinking about should be thinking about IT and forward, and we are already there. Now that we are already there, the difference of things that you need to do and difference of things that I needed to do are entirely different. But what you need to do is be the architects of things. You're no more somebody who's going to be a supportive member of something that you've studied all throughout and just moving into something. You're supposed to be starting as thinkers now, not only a student who's bringing up topics. Somebody who understands few things or learns few things is not what's going to cut it. Your scores are not going to cut it. you need to be architects. You need to start thinking broader. How has the business transformed? That's just the term. It used to be at a location. Now it's all in connections. It's no more a location-based thought that we always had. We had stores before. It has just moved to websites. Then it went to mobiles, which is more actively what most of you are using. And now in the mobiles and across all of this thing, we are using AI. So it's just moved from a store. The products that are sold are nearly the same, but we've moved across to technology, and using the same technology, we're moving forward. So the traditional businesses have not changed in senses that you should think about. You should think that somebody, like I told you, you being the architects of the newer technology, has thought something forward and moved it and upgraded it. When we talk e-commerce, we have these 4 segments that we need to think about. Every single student that is here is going to be part of one of these. A storefront is your business front. There's a segment for payments, which is the payment gateways and the technology from which all your payments are going to be taken. Another line of business this is. The operation side is the pure business side. Logistics, things needs to be moved from one place to another. There's so many things that needs to be done to get that business from there to the consumer. And then the last set of business that you should think about is the marketing side of it. How are you ever going to get a consumer? To get a consumer, you need to market the problem, market the solutions to everybody. So these are the 4 pillars at which you are going to run an e-commerce business. Now, you might have a brilliant idea today, but understand your brilliant idea has to transcribe all these 4 segments to become a business. Otherwise, it's not a business. First break. Does anybody know this curve? This is knowledge versus confidence. The less knowledge you have, sometimes you feel very, 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 very confident. It's called the Dunning-Kruger effect. Which is very simple. You might know very less, but you're very, very confident of what you are, or what you've thought about is the best idea. Once you learn more, it's going to pitch. You're going to understand that there's going to be a valley of despair. This is where most of people who have thought about an idea first, thought it was a great idea. Once they realize there are a lot of things that involve in the business, all these things come and sink into a valley of despair. And then because you're still studying and if you're still getting the knowledge up, you're going to grow. This cycle is going to be all throughout your life. In anything that you're going to do, you're going to go through this. And this is something that everybody should remember. Do not get worried about anything that by you failing or you not reaching what you're going to do. Imagine you were here and you were just going downwards. Study, keep improving what you know, and you'll keep going up. It's not an issue at all. So more knowledge, your confidence will go back to where you were before. After 12th, this is where we are at right now. After 12th, what are we going to do? Or everybody has a question of how are we going to do this right? Let's see. This is a degree that you need to get. Everybody talks about if I had a great idea, should I drop out? Should I get into my business will run? It's not an issue at all. I have this great idea. Does anybody know what a unicorn is in business? You're already a head boy. You're already smart. Anybody else?
So a startup that has already crossed $1 billion in revenue.
Yes. So, even as a thought, if you're going to go, if you're going to become a big company and your valuation of the company is already crossed 1 billion, you can call yourself a unicorn. In the top 50 unicorns right now, how many dropouts do you think there are? Top 50. How many think the business founders are dropouts? Top 50. I have one of the things that I want to show you. Can I see this? Mr. Folder. Give me the folder. No. Do you see this? It's all going to be no till the 50. Then no college dropout who has actually made a great company. If he has, you will actually see somebody else with him, which is an MIT graduate. And if you see a graduate, that's one guy who survived out of the whole segment that you're talking about. Yeah? So being a dropout, and even if you see a dropout, he would have dropped out from one of the greatest colleges that you would ever think of going. So just because you have a great idea does not actually say that you will break free by not getting a degree or not getting an education system that is telling you to be at. Yeah? So I think if you want to actually see it, it's still going to be no. And if you go down the tribe also, you are also going to find a lot of no's in there. So what did they do different? I mean, when you're studying, you always hear about these guys who are really brilliant and they made it somewhere and stuff like that. What did they do? Why did that happen? It's because of this. They built their skills as when they were in college. They had different skills that they managed to do. They were good at IT, they built something during the college time. College gives you the network. College makes you make sure there's a lot of things that you can do when you're in college. So all what happens there is you are set to work in the new segments of different careers that you're supposed to be. And you will find a way. It's just that college experience is what is going to make you what you are. Study, get a degree, but with that, do other things. Keep your mind open to ideas, keep your mind open to entrepreneurial ideas. Otherwise, the next movement from here, I'm just talking about people who are thinking about the digital segment, yeah? If you want to be a doctor, you pretty much are stuck studying. But we are in the segment where we can think of entrepreneurial ideas when we are in the forum of, when you're in college. So, as I was saying, it's just the launch pad where you're going to be at. The careers that you can build, like I said, the segment that we were looking at, the whole segment is divided into 4-5 parts. Again, if you know you can build the next Uber, it still needs these guys. So all these are careers. You will have tech and data. You will have creative and marketing. You will have business operations. You will have the entrepreneurship, the guy who founded it. But all these are career paths within the segment that you're looking at. So you have first segment is the data, which is the backbone of all the systems that you see in this. It's the pure backbone. It needs, with no system, no e-revolution is going to happen without this whole team. The BSc science guys, BSc computer guys, me. Somebody like me. The computer science, the data analysts, the guys who are going to set up servers, the guys who are talking about it, that is a career path available for you right now. And the companies are not going to give up on you guys. They need you. There's no way the companies survive without you guys. The other side, the guys who can think, dream, BA arts, BA design, all those guys are the guys who are in the marketing side. Again, companies cannot survive without you guys, because without you, there are no customers going to come to that e-commerce segment that you've created. So that's these guys. I did? No. Okay. That should say business behind this. Yes. So the MBAs and even a BBA guys are the guys who've got some operational knowledge taught to them. How to get this ball rolling when it comes to a business. What's financials, what financials should look like. So all those guys are here. If you start with Excel, but you end up even today using Excel to understand how the company performs, because that's what we get at the end of the day. I look at enough numbers from the companies and that's what you look at. So they start that here where you tell you how to use all these properly. Now this is a new segment for us. Never was there before, but now it's pretty strong. The sustainable industry is something that we all talk about. If I don't mention that in even a pitch that I do to another company saying this is what we are, and we are worried about the environment, some companies will not look at you. So if I have to pitch that, if I have to talk about that, I need a guy who knows that. I might have started a website, but if that website, each time I sell something, I want to go plant a tree, that topic and that discussion and that business, that sustainability line of the business is going to be taken care of by a guy who has done that segment very clearly in the sustainable side. So the whole company needs all these guys to run. Otherwise, the e-commerce segment does not actually run. Then there are the superheroes. Now, these guys turned out to be little smarter. They did 2-3 things when they were in college. I did not only business, but also I studied entrepreneurship. Guys like that. I'm not going to be the one. I went for studying computer science. Moved to informatics. Because informatics had an opportunity to study business together. So there's bioinformatics, there's chemistry informatics. My college also gave us an option of having business and informatics together. So I kind of learned two together. But if you do not learn that, but you have the aptitude for it, this segment is done by guys who can do multiple disciplines at the same time. If you do multiple disciplines at the same time, the timeline of your success kind of reduces. I do this right now. I'm 40 years old. I studied this, but when I started getting jobs in the beginning, I got it in only single field, which was the IT segment. I didn't get into the business segment in the beginning. So if you get IT and business together, it took me 40 years to come back to IT and business together. But this segment right now is going to have a huge boost because your education is going to be aligned in this way, where you will get multiple disciplines very easily because you have AI right next to you. You're asking it all the questions that you need. And sometimes when I asked what's the unicorn, if none of you guys knew it, within 2 minutes somebody could have found out and answered the question. So in a business meeting or a business discussion, it's never going to be a stage where all of you have to go back and research something and come back and give an answer. A guy who spent 30 years in the industry can give you the same, you can give the same answer as a guy who has got 30 years of experience in the same industry when a question like this is just tossed forward, which is, what is this? And you don't have to say, I'm going to come back. You can research and, you can type it out, find out, and come back to it. So that whole thing is getting built by these multidisciplinary guys who knows more than one thing. So as I was telling you, there are 4 pillars for it. These is when you combine those pillars. You can be the guy who's in marketing and the guy who thought about a business. So the IT plus marketing guy is going to make more money than the IT guy. IT plus business guy is going to make more money than the business guy. So the multiple disciplinary thought process is something that I'm going to tell you is the hardest, and it's going to be the ones which are going to give you, it's going to make you reach a goal much easier and faster and make money faster. So this is the advantage that I was talking about. All of you have this pure advantage of AI around you. Use it. The colleges are the ones who are giving you the tools, but each of these colleges have, when you go in, you have these thought processes, what to do, what not to do. Your clear thought process has to be set now, when you're in level 10, 11, 12. You already know if you are a creative person. You already know if your thought process aligns to something. Everything forward is going to be just aligned because your surroundings are going to influence you. It's going to be your friends who will say, let's not do this and let's do that. If you get influenced that way, then the whole set of friends need to be your business partners at the end of the day. They're companies were started by friends, and it works. One of the dropouts that you saw, I think, was Oyo. One dropout, but he had friends along, and he had backing along. So all that set together will give you the mileage. But if you don't do that, structure yourself now. I'm pretty sure I'm going to see one of you guys become something big. There is a challenge, though. The one who's talking behind, or the guy who's actually slept in one of my conversations. Wow. Oh, that's new. All right. So the next, what I was. So the most important thing that I want to say is, we have never had a great from an Indian schools in the Middle East. There's never been one. You go search in places that you want to search to find out what next somebody has done, and somebody who has done really big in one of these industries. We've never had one from Middle East. We've had a great lot of people who have tried, a lot of people who have failed, and do you know anything about Dudwalas? There was an app done by somebody from the Middle East, somebody from Oman, went down to Bombay, made sure the Dudwalas app work. You can actually book your milk and it'll come get delivered to your house and everything. Failed. We had somebody who was renting furniture. You could actually rent furniture online and it'll come and drop off your house. After some time, after 2 years, you can actually send it back. Failed. We've not had a great one yet. I'm in the industry. We've set up multiple companies that is in fintech, and it's in all these things. None of these things have ever been the multi-billion-dollar industry that you're talking about. You can find a talabat from somewhere else. I think the one which is the other one, the Omani one, Kedma, is has some Oman element to it, some Oman ISM student in it. If that becomes actually really big and we cross borders, good. But we're still looking for the next great e-commerce person from the Middle East, from an Indian school in the Middle East. Yeah, there might be other schools who've actually done it, but yeah, we don't have one. So each time I talk about this, I keep telling you guys, I keep looking at all the faces to see whether the next guy I have some kind of been an inspirational bit where I said, you can do this also. So I hope you're going to be one of those. That's the shortest presentation that you can find in one of these segments, because I would rather have you guys ask me any kind of questions on your career paths. When I pitched forward saying college is the most important thing, do everything great. I've just done a BBA. I'm not an MBA guy. I'm not the guy who's done a lot of things in my life. But I still tell you guys this is very important. So across the segment, from the good to the bad, you can ask me even individual across any of the businesses that you want to do there, any segments that you want to talk about, we can still talk about it. Now tell me what is wrong the first slide that we did. What all? Talabat's logo was wrong. All right? All right. Decent enough. So I know you guys started listening to me at that time, others I couldn't catch your attention sometimes. All right, let's go. Anybody, anything? Go. You're the only one who was smiling at me throughout the conversations. Go. Ask me.
Basically, I'm asking that. Some people say marks determine our business.
His question is, do marks determine your future? Let's put it that way. The guy who's got lesser marks than me would have gained more than me. Till 8th grade, the guy who sat right next to me topped IIT that year. From Muscat, he's a Muscat boy. My year, topper of IIT JE was a guy who sat next to me till 8th grade. He and me are pretty much in the same place. We are along the same paths. I didn't top any numbers. I was slightly smart, let's put it that way. I didn't top any JE or anything like that, but I managed to make sure that I had decent marks. But there are guys who got way less marks than me. And there are guys whose actual knowledge that is gained from college is not only the marks. That's what I keep telling people. You make connections. If I have to call somebody today, I have about 3 alumni associations that I can message to. One, my school. One is the college that you went to. So when you go to a college, everything opens up to this. I can actually give a call to somebody today and say, I need a robotic arm solution to serve a kitchen rather than a cafe. Do any of you have it? Somebody will have it. and they can bring it to you. That's the network that you're supposed to create. You could create the same network having 60% marks and the same network having 90% marks. But you have to be in college. You have to be passing this thing. You have to go through the whole cycle where you submitted each of those papers because you've struggled for it. You've understood there's a lot of effort that is taken to do that paper. You do that paper, you submit it. And then you get told that it is not good enough. You face failures. All that has to happen. You have to fail. Somebody has to tell you you're not right. Without that, it's not going to go forward. That's why college becomes important. Otherwise, marks. I'll tell you why marks matter. You are you're studying law, and you graduated out of Harvard. Yeah, that guy will get hired before somebody who was graduated out of somewhere else. When he graduated out of Harvard, he had this much versus the guy who got 60% 60% marks in Harvard. It'll matter to somebody who's going to hire only a graduate who's got 90% marks. There are companies who do that. That does not mean you've failed in life. Yeah, there's so many other companies who are desperately, and all the new companies are looking for you. Anybody new is not looking for a Harvard graduate, but that company might be the next Tesla. So it does not matter where you join sometimes. It matters what you bring to the table, how long you will be surviving in the organization. Anybody? Next. Oh, head boy. I was a head boy too, by the way.
So from which school, sir?
Wadi Kabir.
Oh, okay. Thanks so much. So, small doubt. We have, let's say, imagine any business, if you want to start it up, right? It always generally starts with a very small, yet a very simple problem that they want to solve, as far as I have seen. But then, how do you proceed forward? It might start simple, but then it might turn out to be, let's say, solving much more than that. But then how do we start from that point? Okay, I've identified a problem. I've gone through the various steps of basically setting up, okay, this is what I'm going to solve. And these are the people that I need. But then what, sir? Like, how do we approach, let's say, organizations who are ready to help us? Or let's say, how to connect with people? Yes, connecting is important, I understand. Let's say with seniors or something like that. But then how do we reach to them? What are the right connections that we need? If you don't mind, sir, if you can help us out with that.
So, everybody has an idea. Each person who has an idea believes that his idea is the best. I thought of Uber before Uber came in. Yeah. But that's because the taxi services here were really bad at the time when I was here. I mean, it's still not that great, but still. Now you have an option. That time we didn't have any option. So we thought about Uber. It's not that we didn't think about Uber. How do you execute a thing that is an idea is the challenge that everybody has. It's just not you. How did all the big ones make it? The unicorns that I told you make it? Is because they got funded. To get funded, you need your idea to work. You need your idea to hit few thought processes. Is the solution going to make the money? I judged your one of the events that you had, and there were people who had better ideas than the guys who won. Indian School Mascot. Anybody from Indian School Mascot? Yeah. You guys had the better idea than the guys who won. I was very clear about it. The guy knew that I had an idea. He knew that if we move your hand, you had a gesture controlled, you had all that. It's a great idea. At the point when he was talking to me, I asked him, how are you going to make money out of this? He didn't have a proper answer to it. You're a superman at the time when you have a better idea, but if you cannot monetize it, that means if you cannot make money out of it, or you do not have even the thought of how you're going to make money out of it, somebody else is going to do it before you. Because somebody else has decided how to use that idea and how to make money out of the idea. So the first step that you need to do when you have an idea is to figure out how much money am I going to put in and how much money am I going to make out of it. How do I make money out of it? You can't be selling tote bags and make a lot of money. If you have an IT solution, the very example, he had gesture controlled systems. But if you cannot tell me that a gesture control system at an operation theater is going to be working like this, somebody else is going to put that gesture control, the system which actually says move this way, and somebody has actually brought an item to you, that's going to make him money. Now, if you made sure that you've covered all these positions in your company, you needed somebody to come along with you with blind trust when you had an idea. The blind trust guy might be a best friend, might be a parent, might be somebody who you have influenced throughout the way you speak. It's a blind trust. He is not in you because there's money to be made. But both of you together, or four of you together, have gone forward with an idea. Then you need to start filling up these places where there is a guy who will actually, if you're the guy who is actually selling the idea, so you're the marketing guy, you sell the idea saying this is a brilliant idea, I think this is how we will do it and everything. So the marketing guys are a very important bit. All these guys are selling the idea to raise money for this project. That money can come from your parents, or the money comes from somebody else. You have to convince somebody to give you that money to do it. If you do not convince anybody to give you the money to do it, the business is not going to happen. All your superhero thoughts are going to die with somebody going to give you money to do it. It has to be a parent, it has to be a family, it has to be something, or it has to be a person who believes in your idea before. Once that money comes into your business, you will build a great solution because you had a great idea. You made a great solution, you made a brilliant idea, you made a good solution. What happens next? At that time, you've actually hired all these guys. Huh? You are the entrepreneur. You've hired a guy who will run your company. You've hired a guy who is going to market the company well. You've hired the guy who is going to take care of your servers, everything done. Once that small setup is done, you will need to again convince people to give you more money. Because that company needs to start marketing now. To put up an ad on the highway when you go from here to there, you see a board that is there. It'll cost you 6,000 riyals to put up one ad. And that'll be less than like about 3 weeks. You'll burn that 6,000 without not even one guy coming to you. So the Kedma app that we're talking about, the ISM guy who's a part of it, he is putting up those ads right now. I mean, I think he did 2 weeks ago. I think 40, 50K he would have spent over it. That's Omani riyals. To put ads out, to get people to come to you. That is not going to come out of an initial business that you have started, where you've hired a guy, you're paying all these guys salaries, you're running this company, you might be selling something and making some money out of this one, but it is not going to give you that much money to reach people. That's called the customer acquisition cost. The guy who's going to reach the customer, that cost is going to be the highest cost that you're going to incur, because for that, your marketing needs to look really nice. It needs to be placed in places. You need to be added right. Before, by the way, you could improve your website, put in SEOs and everything, and you will start coming up on the Google's search engines. You know, now you do not even have to do that. You have to even get into the AI summaries that needs to come in. So when I'm searching for something right now, you're not seeing the sites. You're actually seeing the summary first. Then you're going to see ads. Then you're going to see the guys who are decently well placed in the SEO. So by that, there is no way, just because you're a good site, you are anywhere there. So there's a lot more things that needs to be done to even bring your site up to a visible level. That needs money. So that's the second time you've raised money for your project. First time to start this small thing that you thought was good. Second time to actually make sure everybody else knows that this thing is good. So where do things fail from a business idea? Is when you fail to raise this money. So the guy who did an IPO very recently had bike workshops. Go read about it. He had workshops of bikes. He had 4 workshops of bikes, Yamaha bikes or something like that. He went IPO because his marketing was good. People invested in workshops of bikes. People do not even understand what is happening. So if your marketing is good enough, you can sell anything. Your products sometimes are copies of things what people have done before. People have done it in the US, you've picked it up and done it for India. Works. Then your marketing has to be strong. If each one of these pillars are strong, the cheaper you get, the better, but better strength of these ones will make your success a success. But unless the entrepreneur is charming enough with the marketing guy to raise that money, you will fail. It's what it is in this industry. You can't be just a good doctor and people will not walk to you. Even doctors now cannot do it. They also need marketing. So we have reached there. Anything else? You have another one.
Storybooks are good ideas for e-commerce.
Storybooks are good ideas for you. You're asking me if a business idea of making storybooks is a good, or there's a concept called storybooks.
I'm asking if the making storybooks are good business ideas.
So you're talking about making an AI generated storybook and selling it across this thing. Great idea. But where are you going to take this?
To customers like my
How many books are you going to sell?
like 100.
Not going to make enough. You're not going to make enough unless you're a publishing house which is making multiple books like this and making a lot of money. There are guys who've gone through the whole set of college doing one specific gig and making enough money to take them through the college. Or they've done a small specific gig like what you're talking and run a household. I need to pay 500 reals rent, electricity and everything. I need a gig to survive the house. Gig works. The guy riding on Uber runs his house. Gig works. But if you have a business idea, it cannot be a gig. It has to have background to it. It has to have multiple times that you will be able to do this. It has to be a repetitive process. All this matters. Great idea. I might buy your book. You might make money today. You might have to keep building books every day, and all the books needs to sell. Unless you find a great niche. Anything else? I think we're good. All right, thank you guys.
Thank you so much, Mr. Nitin Aravind, for that heartful and inspiring session. May I now request Mr. Abdul Majid, Assistant Vice Principal, Middle Section, Indian School Alsi, to kindly present a memento to Mr. Nitin Aravind as a token of our appreciation and gratitude. Thank you once again, sir, for gracing us with your presence and sharing your inspiring journey into the future of business and how e-commerce digitization is an important tool for a successful business.